Okay, BOOZHOO, and welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO, and today, and I'm here, of course, with the lovely and the talented, get out of here, Natasha. How you doing, baby? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you, sweetie? Oh, not too bad. Did you want to say hello to the people? Ikadon BOOZHOO? BOOZHOO Kakina! Hello, everybody! All right. We'll have Natasha come up on camera soon. But I just wanted to stop in. I wanted to say, Mino Giga Jeb, good morning. Let's make that our OJIBWE word of the day. Mino Giga Jeb. I guess it's a phrase of the day, huh? Yeah, I suppose. Mino Giga Jeb, good morning. And the elders, they would tell us, it is good to get up early. Early to bed and early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, is what they said. And in the traditional way, they say you're supposed to get up and get out before the sunrise and put out your tobacco. Say a prayer. I didn't do that though, huh? No, I haven't left the house yet. I think it's cold out. But if I were living more traditionally, I would have went out and put some tobacco out. And I might have said, Gitche Manado, Great Spirit. Daga we duka wishin. Please help me. Daga we duka wishin ando ikadon menowe. Please help me to speak well. Nungum today. And then I might say, thank you for listening, Great Spirit. Miigwech bizandawiye gitche manado. Thank you for listening, Great Spirit. And give him some tobacco. It's a little offering. So I'm here with Natasha, and I'm also here with Michael Lyons. How you doing, Nietzsche? Oh, I'm doing great. How are you? Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. You gonna come play some songs for the people later? Yeah, I might. All right. So we're doing a live stream. Oh, shoot. I didn't change the title. I'm going to have to do that. It probably says that it's 12:19 on the title. Well, it's not. It's Sunday. Sunday. Anima A. Geisha good. Anima A. Geisha good. It is prayer day. It is the day of prayer, and we just said a prayer. That's pretty much Anima A. Prayer, Anima A. To pray is Anima A, and prayer is Anima A. The prayer book is the Anima A Mazina I Gun. It's the prayer magazine, the Bible. And hey, BOOZHOO, Jim. Good morning. How you doing? Thanks for getting up and having coffee with us today. I was just introducing Natasha and Michael. I think Mukwa is going to make an appearance. Mukwa is bear. And I tried to do a live stream last night and nobody showed. It was just us here for like 25 minutes or so. And I was kind of like, you know what? Maybe this is a morning thing. You know, it kind of feels like early morning radio. You know, like the Howard Stern show, only not so gross. I used to really like the Howard Stern show when I was a kid and a young adult. And then, you know, now it's just so, I mean, who wants to hear from strippers? No one cares what a stripper has to say. And Howard Stern is just so, ugh. I mean, yeah, I get it. Your whole shtick has been played. Oh, you're gross. You fart. I get it. I'm Fart Man. Oh, that's real creative. But he was like the only thing in town. I mean, you can't listen to local morning radio because it's just so mainstream. You know, it'll be like, well, Joe, hey, SM, bonjour, welcome. Just talking about how I hate morning radio. You know, it's like, oh, did you catch the game last night? Oh, yeah, that was a good game. You know, there's just no depth to it. And local radio people, they have that kind of pukey voice. Hey, it's really great to be here. All right. Welcome to KKBJ, rockin' the Northland. You're like, yeah, okay. Take it easy. I'm just trying to drive to work. I just want to hear what the weather's going to be like. So here's the weather report for today. I didn't read it or anything. I'm just guessing. It's probably going to be kind of cold, but not too bad. And the sun will shine for a while, and then it'll get cloudy. And then it'll probably stay cloudy. The roads will be a little icy in the morning, but not too bad. And oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot to change the title before I went live, and I can't do it from here. I did a live stream last night, and nobody showed up, and so the title is still saying 12:19. Not very professional, I'd say. But today is Anima E Gija Good. It is prayer day. And so we said a little prayer. I asked the Great Spirit to help me to speak well today. And just thought I would kind of, have my little morning coffee with yous. You ever notice that, how Indian people like to pluralize the term you? You know, like down south they say y'all. Hey y'all. Hey you all. Y'all. But reservation people are like, hey yous. I got something I want to say to yous. All yous people. All yous guys. Yous. And they point with their lips. Hey yous. That's true. People ask me about that sometimes. When I was in college, I brought some of my college buddies to the powwow. And they were non-Indian guys. And one came up to me and goes, what's up with all the kissy face stuff? You know, ooh, why do they do that? I'm like, oh, they're pointing. You see, in the Indian way, it is very rude to point with your finger. Yeah. They say you should never point. And so they point with their lips. And I heard once an elder told me at a sweat lodge, he goes, you know why you're not supposed to point? He goes, when you're throwing bad medicine, that's when you point. He goes, if you're, let's say we're around a fire here, and you put out your medicine, and you want to put like a curse on somebody, you want to make somebody sick, you throw that bad medicine at them. And so he goes, never point. And certainly don't do that to Kitchimana do. You screw all of us. So never point at an eagle. You don't go, hey, look, there's an eagle. Look, Migazy. You go, hey, what? Look, check it out. You point with your lips. But yeah. So how you guys doing today? Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Elvis Presley. I wonder if he's really dead. I'm still on that. You know. It wasn't that much after long after JFK that Elvis died, when you think about it. You know, JFK assassination was like in what, 66 or something, and Elvis died in 77, I think. But I saw a video of a guy who was like 75 or 80 years old or something, who looked a lot like Elvis Presley. But the impressive thing was he was singing an Elvis Presley song at a karaoke thing. And oh wow, this guy was just perfect. He sounded just like Elvis. And I forget his name. It's like Jesse something, which I guess was Elvis's dead brother's name. But he's a pastor in, you know, somewhere not far from Graceland. And you go, what? Did he fake his death? You know? Did he just change his, you know, there's a conspiracy out there that maybe Elvis entered the witness protection program. You know, he was a drug agent or whatever. President Nixon, there's a famous picture where Elvis, he went to the White House and he took a picture with the president. And the really funny part was that, you know, he was still wearing the Elvis outfit like he wears on stage, you know, the cape. Only it wasn't white. He was wearing like the formal black Elvis costume. So he went to he went to Nixon, and Elvis was so popular. Everybody loved him, even the president. He was like, hey man, do me a favor. I'm Elvis. Can you make me like some kind of special agent? I want to be the anti-drug guy. And so Nixon was like, yeah, sure, man. Here's a little badge. You can now be the, I forget the title, but he had an official title. And he could he could pull over people. He'd be driving around in his pink Cadillac and then put on like lights or something and pull people over and be like, hey man, I'm Elvis and I'm the official drug thing. I'm going to have to check your car for drugs. And then he would take the drugs. So what? So Elvis. And that's how we ended the drug problem in America in the 1970s. There weren't any more drugs until the 90s. And now it's everywhere. All right. So, yeah, Elvis Presley. Maybe I didn't love you. You know, he never wrote any songs. He just sang other people's songs. But nobody cared in those days. Quite as often as I could have. You know, there'd be a hit like Always on My Mind by Willie Nelson. It was actually on the radio. And then Elvis would just sing it and make it a bigger hit. And they'd be like, yeah, whatever. He didn't write it, but we like his version better. Every Elvis song you love was somebody else's song. I mean, sometimes they would write it for him. But like, you know, Mac Davis, I think his name was. He wrote, on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another baby child is born in the ghetto. And everyone's like, oh yeah, we loved Mac Davis. It's like, well, you did long after Elvis Presley, they stopped playing his version. Elvis actually improved like even Beatles tunes. Remember, yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. You know, Elvis redid that song, made it a hit. Every time I sing those songs, I'm always singing like the Elvis version. Now I need a chance to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, yesterday. Bijanago, yesterday. Bijanago. All my troubles seem so far away. What do you guys think? Was yesterday better than today? And I kind of feel like we're being programmed to think we're living in the bad times. Oh, 2020 was so bad. I wish it was the yesterdays. I wish it were 85 again. Which, quite frankly, I do, but, Yesterday. But, they say there's no good, there's no point in looking back. Living in the past, man, that's what makes you depressed. Because you're living in the past. 2020 is amazing. Thank you for saying that. I think it is. I mean, how do you judge your life? From what you see on the internet? Or from what you're actually experiencing in your real life? Have you had good health this year? Have you grown? Have you gotten better in any way? Maybe 2020 was great. But all anybody can talk about is COVID. It's like we've all been brainwashed. Oh, we're the Walking Dead. Oh, I got the COVID. Everybody's dying. Give me a shot. I don't know. It's been good for me so far. There's still a couple of weeks left. Well, I guess I'll wait until afterwards. Coal fraud. That's good. Coal fraud. I got the coal fraud. The coal fraud pandemic. When it first came out, people were calling it the my corona. Or the Holocaust. It's like, oh, we got the cough. Big deal. Oh, shut down everything. Everyone's going to die. They got the cough. It's like, what happened to the flu and the influenza? I guess COVID cured that? Or are they just calling flu this thing now? I don't know. I heard somebody talking about with the news, you should, with every headline, it should read, be afraid because, and then just insert the headline. Be afraid because global warming, blah, blah, blah. Be afraid because Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Be afraid because blah, 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 homophobia, whatever. And it's always just the threat. It's always just almost something really bad's going. It's just like the weather. Have you noticed this? They never say, a storm's coming in tonight, but it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. It'll probably just be a dusting. And then it's a huge storm. It's always the other way around. It's always like, oh, everybody, you better get your supplies. The big storm's coming in. And you run to Walmart and you fight everybody like it's Black Friday. And you load up on all your stuff just in case. It's a really bad storm. And then it snows for like an inch. And you get up in the morning, you're like, what was all the fuss about? Well, the fuss was that they're trying to get people to watch the news. Nobody checks the weather unless they think it's going to be bad. And they need people to check their website. So they make up stories. And we all know this, But then they get us to fight with each other because they've also told us, oh, what do you believe fake news? You don't trust the news? What are you, a Trumpster? It's like, what? No. You believe the news? I bet you believe only choosy mothers choose Jif. Choosy mothers choose Jif. Bad moms choose, what was the other one? Skippy? Mothers who skip out on their responsibilities, they choose Skippy. They don't even care about their children. Thanks. So, yeah. Choosy's mother. You can't believe anything on TV. Don't believe what you read. Do you believe what you read? No, I don't. No, I don't believe what I read. I don't really read anything. I just watch videos about stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. They used to say we had like free speech and that you could trust the news, like there was journalism, that there was like just people checking and telling you, okay, this is what we found out about what they're really doing in Washington. And now they're in trouble. And thank goodness we got journalists to tell us the truth so we can, know the truth. And then over the years, I'm not sure when it ended. Maybe it was never true. But everyone wised up. They're like, okay, yeah, it's a TV show. And this TV show's advertisers support this politician, so the stories are going to be pro that politician and anti that politician. We all know that. Who are you voting for? Well, don't even tell me. Do you watch Fox News or do you watch CNN? That'll tell me exactly who you're voting for. But what is the truth? OJIBWE. Truth. It is one of the 7 Anishinaabe values. We live in an age where nobody even knows, or everyone knows the truth, but they're afraid. They don't have any confidence in themselves to say, yeah, this is true, meaning that is not true. You can't even say how many genders there are anymore. Is it true that there's just men and women and that, no, I feel like a woman. Don't you? That's my truth. Don't you oppress me. What is true? Is the Big Bang theory true? If you don't believe that story, then they're like, oh, are you a science denier? Is global warming true? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Well, you can trust the scientists because they will tell the truth. But what if they're wrong? Hey, don't you be a science denier. You got to believe somebody. I don't know. What is the truth? It seems to me that science is just constantly being wrong. If you go through the history of what everybody thought, science is constantly trying to come up with a new truth. You know what? They used to believe that wind was caused by the movement of the trees. But now we know the truth. Well, what if you're wrong? Maybe trees do move. Wouldn't that be weird? That wind was just a fanning of trees. It was just a breeze made by trees that moved. Make you think twice about cutting them down. Or maybe cut them all down. I don't know. Anyway. Hey, Michael, you want to come up and say hello to these guys? Yeah, sure. All right. Well, hey, I'll see you in a little bit. GOFUNDME. Menoa. La, 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 do, do, do. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I should. Anyway, my name is Michael Lyons, and I'm the creator of BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And just thought I would have my morning coffee with you this morning. Let me reset up the camera. How's that? So yeah, it's 4 of us here right now. Seems like a pretty good, pretty good audience. I'm having some makade mush kiki wabu. Having some black medicine water. And so yeah, welcome everybody. Let's see, don't make sense to use trees to make birdhouses. Yeah, no kidding. Coffee sounds good. Hey, Victoria, BOOZHOO. Yeah, that's a weird thing. Why would they cut down a tree to make a birdhouse? I'm going to go on a new campaign. All birdhouses should be made out of aluminum. All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. And I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. So this New Year's Eve, we're having a New Year's Eve party. 11:30 Central Time, whatever Minnesota time is, or, you know, figure it out. And we're basically just going to do a live stream with music and stuff like that. And hopefully I'll have something kind of scripted, maybe some sketches with puppets. There must be some kind of way out of here. Is what Bob Dylan was thinking when he was living in Minnesota. Guy moved away and never looked back. That's the big difference between how Minnesotans feel about Bob Dylan and Prince. When Prince died, the whole state, it seemed like, was just in grief. You know, there were all these memorials and people doing tributes, and it was kind of like everybody stopped for a minute and went, oh, you know, because he was from Minnesota and everyone knew that. And he also he spoke fondly of it. He loved Minnesota. He said he liked living here. And but Bob Dylan never mentioned it again. He grew up here and then at a very young age moved away. In fact, he used to have a song where he talked about moving down to New Orleans. What was that song? I was working as a cook for a spell, and I never did like it all that much. And one day the axe just fell. I used to know how to play that. Early one morning the sun was shining. Early one morning the sun was shining. The sun was shining. I don't remember how to play it. I don't know what to say. I was thinking about John Denver the other day, and just what a wholesome image he had. How his songs are just universally loved. What was the other one? Almost Heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountain, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. You know, he, like Bruce Springsteen, like a lot of these guys, and really Bob Dylan, they have a brand. Their music kind of suggests a sort of story behind who they are. And like with John Denver, you picture a guy living in Colorado Rockies, you know, just loving the, you know, outdoors, being a simple country boy, you know. Their songs would have themes that would paint them as a certain type of person. And so you'd forget that they were millionaire musicians, celebrities. And that they didn't, you know, Bob Dylan doesn't work on his car. on a Saturday or ride a motorcycle. You know, he's not a blue-collar guy. He's never had a job. You know, he became a millionaire in his 20s and traveled the world first class. You know, Robert De Niro isn't really a gangster. He can't really fight. He's not actually tough. He's an old man actor, you know. Chris Evans, is that his name? The guy who plays Captain America. You know, he's a theater geek on steroids. You know, before he became Captain America. He never became Captain America. He plays the character Captain America. But, you know, but you start thinking that these people are those guys. In that way, that's how Kiss is actually a much more sincere band. Because they come right out and tell you, we're playing the character. I'm the character, the star child. And his personality is whatever. Any requests out there? In my rear view mirror, the sun's going down, sinking behind bridges in the road. The sun is in the east, even though the day is done. The sun is in the east, even though the day is done. It's a huge explosion. It looks like a sun. Two suns in the sunset. Could be the human race is run. There was an old Pink Floyd album that came out right after The Wall. It was the album that came out, not right after, but like a year or two after The Wall came out. That was called Final Cut. I don't know if anyone remembers that. It was a really great album. It was a very sad album. But it was sort of like, it continued on the theme that The Wall had set of like war and, you know, post-war dreams and disappointments and traumatic whatever. Yeah, Pink Floyd I always thought was a great band and was especially great. I mean, now everyone knows what they look like because of YouTube. But they were one of the bands like Boston that you would know their music and you would know the whole album and stuff. But if they walked by in the street, you wouldn't necessarily even recognize them. Oh, I don't know Learning to Fly. That would be a good one to learn. Learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. That's Tom Petty. Tonight we ride on radio song. Tonight we sing, da 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 da. Rescue me, should I go down? No, no, no. In this troubled town. Whoa, yeah, you wreck me, baby. a tragedy when he died. Who had more hits than Tom Petty? Grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, and she grew up tall and she grew up right with some Indiana boys on an Indiana night. And she came here at the age of 18, blew the boys away, it was more than they'd seen. We were introduced and we both started grooving. Said I dig it, baby, but I gotta keep moving on. I got a mahjong. Hey, last dance with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. I feel summer creeping in, but I'm tired of this town again. Oh, 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 Tom Petty. That was a song that we would always start out our sets with, or the gig with. I was in a band for about 3 years, I suppose, and we played a lot in this bar in Cass Lake called the Big Tap Bar and Grill. And you always wanted to start, because you're also setting the sound, but you wanted to start with a loud song that had a lot of drums and bass and vocals, so you could check the balances. But yeah, I wanted to play a song that you knew well. And that was a song that we just couldn't screw up. So yeah, all our rock stars are dying. He wasn't a rock star, and I wasn't even a fan, except I loved the one song. So I was not a fan, I forget his name. Jerry Jeff Walker, I think his name was. The guy who wrote Mr. Bojangles passed away this year. And I didn't know anything about that guy, but I've known that song my whole life. And loved it, you know. And now I have to sneeze. I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you. Worn out shoes, ragged hair, ragged shirt, and baggy pants. He did the old soft shoe, and he jumped so high, lightly touched down. I met him in a cell, I was in New Orleans. I was down and out. This is what I usually film on. Just my camera. But I'm working out this streaming service. So I'm using my cheap webcam. One of the bits I wanted to do today, I know I'm kind of all over the place. Oh, good, Mark Roback. I thought as part of our morning show, I could maybe read the headlines for you, so you don't have to. So these are the Google headlines of important news of the day. This is from 10 hours ago. Ellen DeGeneres opens up about excruciating back pain after COVID-19 diagnosis. It's bad, in quotes. Now, this is bad writing because you shouldn't put quotes, it's bad, because that suggests that she means just the opposite. The talk show host said that she didn't know that was a symptom in a video update. Who cares? I do not care that Ellen DeGeneres has COVID. Was it a news story last year when she had the flu? Anyway. Senator Lindsey Graham calls for a special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden. Oh. You have to call a special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden. Apparently they found a laptop with a bunch of evidence on it or something and some very embarrassing photos. I don't know why. It's just, did he commit a crime or not? Let the police handle it. But apparently it has to be a special counsel investigation, which will go nowhere. He won't go to jail or, nothing will happen. Watch Kaylee Cuoco react to questions about ex-Henry Cavill's Man of Steel. Oh, so apparently the guy who played Superman had a girlfriend called Kaylee Cuoco. Is that the chick from that sitcom about the computer guys? Big Bang Theory, yeah. Weird. Well, it's nice that beautiful millionaire people find love too. 25 years ago, Bruce Kulick plays his last Kiss show. It's been 25 years since Bruce Kulick was in Kiss. And, I'm not sure what that says. Underrated guitarist. George Thorogood answers if he's sick of playing Bad to the Bone. Names odd favorite The Who song. I just hope and pray our fans don't get sick of it, the musician said. Yeah. Little House on the Prairie. Melissa Sue Anderson said Michael Landon was mean at times. I doubt it. Because of the way he... don't be talking bad about Michael Landon long after he's dead. Michael Landon launched the historical drama Little House on the Prairie in 1974, based on the books. By Laura Ingalls Wilder, the series starred Landon as Charles Ingalls. Yeah, we know. Landon cast Melissa Sue Anderson for the role of the oldest daughter, Mary. She went blind eventually. Michael Landon's TV movie was based on his own life. Oh, The Loneliest Runner. Remember that? It was all about a teenager who went to bed. It was like an after-school special. And that Michael Landon in the last scene is basically Bruce Jenner. He had become a Olympic running champion, And it was all in this flashback of like, what made you run as a child? And he remembered going back and how he wet the bed. And his parents were embarrassing about it, like air the sheets out, just out the window or whatever. And so he was always running back and forth from the school to his house. And apparently that was based on a real story. Well, good morning, Heather. How nice to have you here. The movie mirrored Landon's real life. All right, but Melissa Sue Anderson wants to badmouth him now. Saw a controlling side to her TV dad. Working with Landon from 1974 to 1981 on Little House, Anderson experienced many different factors of her TV dad's personality. Seeing that he was genuinely a family man, she also witnessed some qualities very unlike his Charles Ingalls character. Well, because he was a Hollywood actor and not, 1860s Minnesotan. Mike was a great father from everything that I saw, Anderson wrote in her 2010 memoir. Does she really need a memoir? I mean, like, her life kind of in the public eye ended in 1981. So now we're going on 40 years ago. And she's only 50-something. But at work, he was controlling, and he could be mean at times. He would single out certain people and tease them publicly and relentlessly. So you say. Also serving as executive producer and sometimes director of Little House. Oh, so the director and the producer sometimes bossed around people? Landon was apparently not very big on collaboration. I don't know. You had to catch Mike on a very good day to get him to change any of his pre-planned blocking of a scene. Well, maybe just don't mess with the guy's art. It's none of your business. Henderson recalled, very, very rarely could you win a creative argument with him. So let me get this straight. Melissa Sue Anderson, teenage actress on the TV show Little House on the Prairie, would have arguments creatively with Michael Landon, 50-something-year-old. The guy was the first teenage werewolf in the 60s. Went on to become a legendary character in Bonanza. And now the guy is on the #1 rated show in the world or whatever at the time. And Melissa Sue Anderson is claiming that she would have arguments creatively. I think you should do, Michael Landon? We should shoot this shot panorama. She didn't do that. But, she would have to make up something to justify writing a memoir, I suppose. Sorry, Melissa. Nobody cares. Oh, here we go. Elvis Presley. Priscilla Presley shed light on a relationship with Elvis Presley. He became my father. And isn't that weird that all these years later, so he dies in 1977. It's now 2020. So we're talking 53 years ago. No. Talking 43 years ago. And she's still telling stories. I mean, the chick remarried later to somebody else, had kids and all this stuff. But still, just 3 days ago, wanted to talk to somebody about some aspect of her relationship that she had with Elvis Presley. And became a father figure. Well, maybe because you were 14 when you hooked up. And he was in his 20s. How come we have to pretend that wasn't as horrible as it was? Hey, my live stream's here. All right, well, enough of the news for today. So that was today's news. Headline news from BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And, or at least what Google thinks I would be interested in. All right, how long have we been doing this? Oh man, it's been almost an hour already. Okay, I'm going to limit this to an hour. So I was talking about phony baloney celebrities. Bruce Springsteen acts like he's a blue-collar, mechanic living in the poor part of New Jersey, But the guy's been a millionaire since he was in his 20s, I get up in the evening and I ain't got nothing to say. I come home in the morning, I go to bed feeling the same way. I ain't nothing but tired. Man, I'm just tired and bored with myself. Hey, baby, I could use just a little help. You can't start a fire. You can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. Even if we're just dancing in the dark. So where you're from, Heather? Heather Bazanow? Buzz. Oh, we spoke on the phone, I think. BOOZHOO or something like that. I can barely read, so I'm always mispronouncing people's names. Islands in the Stream. Don't know that one. I've been working on Silent Night for the holidays. I don't know. If you don't know what to play, you can always just play the blues. There's a red house over yonder where my baby stays. There's a red house over yonder where my baby stays. I've been home to see my baby 99 and 1/2 days. Sometimes you gotta pull up the guitar to look cool. Anyway, would you guys like to meet Natasha? Natasha, would you like to come out and say hello to the people before we sign off? I would love to. Let me talk to the people. We all gotta be people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the show today, you might not know Natasha. NanaBOOZHOO has a girlfriend named Natasha who's sort of a co-host of the show, and she also sings some backing vocals to our songs. That's right! And so Natasha, why don't you come out here? Whoops. Let's see if we can get this reset up in a reasonable way. Let me see if I can move my chair so I can sit next to you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. BOOZHOO, Natasha Nindisha. I am Natasha. And thank you for that awkward introduction, Michael. Yeah, no problem. And so yeah, I just want to say BOOZHOO to everyone. BOOZHOO Victoria, how you doing, sweetie? How you doing, my girl? It's me, your old auntie, Natasha. You know, in the Indian community, we're always calling each other, hey, my girl. You know, you ever have like an older female auntie or something who just kind of becomes your mom? Or sometimes, you know, sometimes little people will connect with you in a sweet way, and they'll feel like you're kids, even though they're just some random kid. I'm a lot of people's auntie. So, what should I talk about? Oh, anything you like. I just wanted you to come out and kind of make an appearance before we said goodbye. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Why don't you ask me something? All right. Let's see. What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do I like? Well, it kind of depends on the mood I'm in. If I'm being totally honest, I'm pretty sentimental about music. I like a lot of songs I liked when I was younger. You know, I used to really listen to a lot of David Bowie. You know, love Kiss, of course. They're my favorite band. I wanna rock and roll all night. But I just kind of love Kiss. I don't know if they're my favorite songs. An album that I always come back to, and maybe this is sort of mainstream, but I love the album 52nd Street by Billy Joel. 52nd Street. It's got the song, honesty is such a lonely word. And, she cuts you once, she cuts you twice, and then you believe you're so fascinating that you're still there waiting when she comes back for the kill. You've been slashed in the face. But yeah, Billy Joel, 52nd Street, I thought was a good album. Cheap Trick. I rediscovered Dream Police album. That album rocks! It's still good, you guys. The Cheap Trick Dream Police. The Dream Police, they live inside of my head. The Dream Police. I still like that album. I don't know. What do you guys like listening to? Have a rock and roll heart. I do have a rock and roll heart. I was a huge, hair band fan. I really loved, 80s, Poison and Cinderella. If you had makeup and spandex on, I'd probably listen to you. So yeah. A lot of heavy metal. Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. One of my favorite all-time albums is Judas Priest's Sad Wings of Destiny. You been fooling with some hot guy. I want to know, what is it like? Get up, get out. You know you really blew it. I've had enough. I've had enough. Good God, pluck me. Yeah, I like heavy metal. But lately, I don't know. I just kind of, I replay albums. Paul Stanley's solo album. The Elder. Yeah. And my Happy Christmas is coming. Yeah, sorta. Not really. It's not, I don't get to have the kind of Christmases I used to have when I was a kid. We used to have such great celebrations. There'd be the school celebration. You'd have parties at school. And the last day before Christmas break, they'd pull out, you'd watch a movie in the gym. And that was like a big deal in the old days. And there'd be Secret Santa stuff. And downtown, there'd be a guy who'd ride up on a snowmobile dressed as Santa. You'd go to the community center, candy, and see your friends from school. And then there'd be the church pageant thing, and music and everybody doing that. And there'd be a celebration Christmas Eve at Grandma and Grandpa's. And then Christmas morning, really early, the whole living room be transformed And your dad would have a camera there with a big light. And again, that was like a rare thing to have a camera. And then there'd be Christmas afternoon, and like Grandma and Grandpa would come back over and have some caramel rolls and see what presents you got. You might go out ice skating. You know, Christmas. I guess I'm really grateful I was able to have good Christmas. But now, I'm just doing the old COVID Christmas. Hanging out. Well, I'll be hanging out with Michael and with NanaBOOZHOO. And, you know, and with Bagheera, the cat. So, I guess we'll have Christmas. I might have to do a live stream just to connect with people. I don't know. Are you going to have a nice Christmas? I wish I could. What do I like to eat for the holidays? And do I like to eat turkey? Yeah, I'll eat turkey. You know, I like turkey and stuffing. I like everything. I even like eggnog. All right. Well, Michael, I think I better move on because your arm's getting tired. So you guys, just want to say thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. I am Natasha. This is Michael Lyons. This is NanaBOOZHOO. And I will see you again. GOFUNDME, Minawa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Hi. So, that was Natasha. And, you know, there's probably boring stuff you don't want to hear about doing puppets, but if I don't have it set up just right, it's really hard on my arm. All right. Well, thank you, SM. GOFUNDME, Minawa, Jim. And I guess we'll sign off for now. It's been an hour. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I felt pretty self-conscious last night doing this live stream totally by myself. And it's nice to have viewers check in. So I might just kind of drop in the mornings. I'm going to try to do this sort of regularly. I'm trying to grow my channel. But thank you so much for watching the show, and I will see you again. GOFUNDME, Minawa. Hoa.